Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Formula One. I'm your host, Jamie. I'm here with my sister, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
And we have a very special guest today. The founder of FanAmp, Greg, is with us.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, Greg.
Hey, everyone.
So this should be exciting. This is we're going to learn a little bit more about you, Greg, about FanAmp, kind of the story of it. And I guess to jump right in, start from the beginning, if you will. How did you get into motorsport?
So this is going to end up being a short episode if you want to know my background. No, I got started because a friend of mine had been a big Lewis Hamilton fan for a long time, had followed the sport, and it was by coincidence, like when Drive to Survive was all the rage. And so he said, look, you should check this out. He really liked it. I've always enjoyed watching with friends. And so I looked into it. And from that experience, watched a couple episodes of Drive to Survive, watched a race, and loved. Yeah, I felt like it was just such an interesting and different sport, and it felt very accessible. And so I kept going more and more. So a friend, I'll say.
Do you have a friend? Do you have a team? What's your team? Are you like a Lewis supporter too because your friend was?
No, I can't support what he supports. Then there's no rivalry. I wouldn't say it's like a team. I feel like it's, the thing I found is interesting is that people like different drivers and people mix and match. I really like Carlos. I just feel like a good energy from him. Lando, similarly. And then Oscar, I guess McLaren, because of what they've done this year, has been really fun to watch. And then Alonso has been just a great character, especially this year, that I've really liked that as well.
Yeah. Oh, Alonso. Did you see recently at the most recent press conference, because of all the rumors flying around, he said he was going to make whoever started the rumors pay? Like, oh my gosh. So punitive.
Oh, he needs to fund those envelopes of cash he gave out years ago. So,
it's never boring when Fernando's around.
No, not at all.
So then I guess going from, getting into motorsport, obviously starting to like it, how did the idea of FanAmp come about generally?
The two are pretty unrelated. Like the whole idea came up. I'm sure I'll mess up my timelines every time I tell the story, but it was something that I had been working on for many months at that point, like exploring what it was like to bring community and information together from a sports perspective. And when I found this and started to fall in love with it, it felt like the natural place to start. Everyone always talks about doing something you're passionate about. And I was passionate about the idea. And then I became passionate about this being the place to channel that idea. And so like the natural idea was, all right, go that direction, like keep going that way. And so I had looked at other sports or other shows. Like I was chatting with my mom, watching episodes of Survivor on like the earliest version of this app. And so there always is that piece of it, but this just felt like the right place to go. And the more I would talk to other people about it, the more it became clear that this was something other people were super excited about. And that's really the passion at the end of the day. And so for me, it was like, all right, then let's go with that. F1 it is.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier, like the accessibility, is that, and kind of like the flashpoint, right, of Drive to Survive and the excitement that and kind of the boom, that's followed. Is that really what made you kind of go in that direction, the Formula One direction with the app?
Meaning like trying to give it, like help people into the sport more.
Yeah. Like, the unique characteristics, I guess, about the sport that make it a good candidate for something like this.
Yeah, there's a lot there. I mean, if you look, there's a finite number of drivers, each with different personalities. They're different characters. Like people relate to them. And I've always enjoyed how people, like, their stories. I think that's what made Drive to Survive successful, is like it told these really human stories of people up and down the grid. And it made it exciting to root for the guy in like 20th place in a race. You're like, he made it. Like, thank God. And so there's so much there. And yeah, I just loved that personality. And I just think it made it easier to connect with people. And also too, like when everyone is, it's a niche, like at the end of the day, right? Like in the US at least, right? Relative to the NFL or the NBA or these establishment brands, there's not as many ways to connect with people. And so there was a great opportunity to just bring people together. And ultimately that's what made me happiest, was seeing that happen. So yeah. I don't know if I answered your question, but that was my
No, definitely. I think, there's a lot to be said, right, about a unique fan base that is the Formula One fan base. It's, Jackson and I've talked about a lot how it's more, there's this online community that maybe is not as present in other sports. I don't watch other sports. Jackie told me that. But things that make it unique. And I guess Jack and Greg, I don't know how many other sports you follow. Maybe you can speak to that a little bit more. But the smaller grid, right? There's only 20 people that you have to get to know. And this community of people that, are all over the world. And especially in a US sense, there's, a smaller amount of us than, say, NFL fans.
Yeah. What got you both into it? Like, what was the thing for you?
Jamie got me into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did she say to you that convinced you?
Well, so I'll set the scene. All right. So I used to live in DC with Jamie, and my parents were visiting. My dad had just had hip surgery, so we couldn't do a ton. But we all wanted to hang out and just chat. And Jamie was like, "You guys, I've been binging this show on Netflix. Just watch an episode. You'll love it." And we ended up, I think, watching the whole season in 3 days.
Yeah.
We just loved it. And then I think immediately we went back, because I think it was in the middle of the season. So we just went back and then just started watching races. But the personalities, like you said, Greg, I also love the drama. That is the madness. We've talked about this in a couple episodes, James, of people, the things that F1 loves is money, rumors, drama, like definitely is in top 3.
Scandal.
I don't know if that's the exact order. Scandal as well. Yeah. I don't know if that's the exact order, but it's definitely up there in the top 5. So it makes everything super interesting.
Yeah.
I think too of what you were saying, Greg, of these established, right? There's all these established ones like NHL, NFL. They also have these kind of like these one spots that they're in, right? While F1 is kind of going a little bit everywhere, and it's never in the season specifically, it's never in the same place twice.
Yeah.
Specific city-wise, I should say, because it's in a couple of countries twice.
Yeah, but you're
US
right.
needs to chill. But do you think that also is the reason why it has such an online presence, is because there isn't this one arena that we can all go to? It's popular in so many different countries, rather than NFL, for example, is really just US. NBA is more North America, but there is this presence everywhere rather than just these one cities.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, you could literally, I live in New York City, so you could take a train out to MetLife, buy a ticket, and go to the game, come back. You're doing it all in a couple hours, let alone a day, like at most. Whereas, like you said, you've got to fly to some other part of the world, or at least some other part of the States, just to even go. And if you miss that one race, for many people, it's the only time it ever comes in the entire year. And on top of it, it's a weekend. It's not a day. So it's just very different. I agree. Like it absolutely is online driven, and they've published stats. The number somewhere between 5% of fans go once in 5 years or something. Like, I mean, the NFL, you can't fit that many people in a stadium, but people are going so often, and it is so like homegrown that it's just different.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do wonder, I mean, the like home team thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, you tend to root for like the NFL and things like that. The team from either like your home state or where you live now, versus, at least in America, we have Haas, I guess, but it's not super common to like at least in America, root for the home team. I would say probably in Italy, that might be a different case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
Well, we're going to have
like,
Andretti soon. Don't forget about that. We're going to be rooting for Andretti soon.
we're manifesting Andretti.
American team, American made car, American driver.
American
It's just
driver.
going to be a bald eagle.
It's just going to be a flying bald eagle livery, and that's going to be
sign me up.
Electric. It's going to be incredible.
Where Williams has like the Duracell, it's just going to be an eagle. Just like,
wait, that's sick. TM, we're trademarking that. You're guys
that would be really cool.
Us.
Michael Andretti, if you want our idea, you can have it as soon as you get on the grid.
As soon as you pay a licensing fee.
Yeah.
Just give us paddock passes for our life. Yeah. Honestly, that's our fee.
But yeah, I mean, speaking of the like going, the races around the world, Greg, you have had the opportunity to go to several races around the world. How do you is the fan base in in Austin the same vibe as the fans in a Singapore?
I mean, all the different races have different culture. It's so, it's just different for each of them. I mean, not only in the way that they execute the actual event, because each of the promoters is local. And so each of them has a different style. And then the people that go, it can vary on how international it feels versus how local it feels. Japan was Japan. It was, there were foreigners there, but it was predominantly Japanese. Whereas I think maybe in Austin, I'm sure it is predominantly American, but you have a lot of people who come from all over or from South America or Central America. It's a bit more maybe accessible than going that far away. So they're all very different. And then just the culture and the way that they execute it, Austin feels a lot like a festival. Mexico City felt like a festival, but more relaxed. Austin felt like there was something in every little corner, whereas Mexico was a bit more chill. So they all have a different flavor. And that's what's cool about it is you not only go for the race, but you go for the culture and the place that you go to, almost like a summer vacation, which is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the Austin vibe is unbeatable. So
yeah, it's really cool. What has been your favorites that you've been to or that you want to go to?
We have not made it to an F1 race quite yet. No, but Mexico City's definitely on there. We talked about it because it's a favorite to watch, but the culture there seems so cool.
It's awesome.
Brazil is my favorite race, so I'd love to go to Brazil.
Yeah. All right.
I'd also love to go to Japan. We're gonna go. Okay.
I want to do Brazil. I haven't done that, and I just think, I mean, this past weekend was great. The action just seems like it's awesome, and Brazil would be so cool to visit.
Brazil provides there's countless iconic races and moments that have happened at Brazil, unbeatable. I'm so down.
Yeah.
Let's all go. We're all going to Brazil next year.
I really got to
get my passport. Get going. Exactly.
I know. I got to get my passport.
Book your flights. Yeah. Jack's renew your passport.
I got to renew my passport.
Yeah, definitely get that done.
I know. That's really bad.
Am I exposing you if I say, isn't it expired already?
It is expired, but I have the paperwork. It's literally on my desk. I just need to get my passport photo taken, and that's just what's taking me a hot second.
Oh, go to CVS or whatever.
It's honestly, there's a lot of places you can do it. I have no excuse. Zero. It's just poor planning.
Go knock it out. Do it over the holiday.
Yeah. Yes, I do. I got to just send it because it can take forever. But yes, we will go to Brazil. I've wanted to. Japan seems so cool. I think just going to one, Brazil just being my favorite race. I'd also really like to go to one that has a driver on the grid. It's Japan would be cool because of Yuki. I mean, Silverstone would be sick. Yeah. Even though I've heard there's nothing around the actual track. It's just that's
it's more. I mean, I haven't been, but from everything, all the people I've spoken with, right? You have all the team or a lot of team headquarters or operations there. So it's probably not as rural as a Spa would be, I guess, would be my guess. It's probably a good middle ground. I think it's 2 hours from London, if I remember correctly. So you could do it or stay out there. I think it'll probably feel plenty busy. over race
I
weekend.
looked because they have that hotel that looked right over the track.
Oh yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, oh, I'll just book a hotel room, and if I lose $100, I'll lose $100. They're already booked.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
I
also
also-
probably not $100.
Oh, well, I was thinking like reservation fee, but like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Like you lose
that'd
2,000
be
pounds, that's
sick.
fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yes, it would be slightly more on race weekend. I think.
Yeah, yeah, but no, it's already booked out for like years.
Doesn't surprise me. I mean, that's
Yeah.
super popular, and like you said, I'm sure like with Lewis on the grid, George,
Lando.
and being where it is. Oh yeah, and Lando too, right? Like it has to be. Plus, the atmosphere already was so good. Like it has to be
Yeah.
an amazing race to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's on my list.
Brazil
I'd
is
say.
like Lewis's second home race anyway, though. So that I feel like that kind of counts.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's so much heritage for Brazil that there's gonna be one on the grid soon. There's gotta be.
Yeah. We'll see.
I would hope so.
Not for Andretti.
Andretti has an
Well-
American driver.
Yeah, exactly.
They can only have American drivers. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I think they committed to one American driver.
Is that what it was?
In the press release, it said one.
I'm
I
just
don't know who
picturing
that would
like the most
be.
ridiculous sponsorships, like craft singles and all these other things that are just so American.
Oh, gosh, bring back rich
Well,
energy.
does Haas do not? That is my trigger word. Does Haas still have Chipotle? Is that one of theirs or no?
Yeah.
They do not lean into that enough. I want a Nico and Kevin mukbang. That's what we need.
That
They
was so out of
did.
left field.
Like, how sick would that be, though?
Recently, I'm pretty sure they released Gunther's Chipotle order.
Oh, like that's incredible.
What does
I
he
don't
get?
remember.
What's like his thing?
Something like boring, I think. I think he got like a bowl with like chicken, rice.
Man after my taste. That's good.
Speaking of,
simple.
so in Austin, right? This past Austin, you guys did a fan meetup, right?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was awesome. I mean, that's been the highlight of the year, like of everything else. It's been just being able to do it there or elsewhere where we and to get people from the community to come together. And it's people from our team. It was other, call it like creators or brands that we're friends with that are there at the track. And then it's just people who are on the app or who have just like been in that network. And you spend a night with them, you learn about where they're from, you meet people from all over the world. That's the beauty of being in a place that you go to alone and not actually being alone is just, it's amazing. And so just having that, it just makes the whole weekend worth it, no matter what happens on track or any of that. So
That's awesome. Are you planning, is Las Vegas going to have one, you think?
we are doing one. Well, so if
Yes,
anyone's
no.
listening and you're in Vegas Wednesday night, if you're on the app, you'll find a channel for folks in Vegas under Grand Prix Travel, and we're sending out the details there. But we will be doing one more casually in Vegas. I think with all the traffic closures, all these things that are just open variables, like we just think let's keep it simple. And so we're just going to find a place at the MGM most likely, and we'll just meet up there for drinks and food, and people can come and go, make friends for the weekend. And then once the weekend's on, you'll have people to share the race with. It's just a really nice way to go to a different city and have some friends. So
I love that. We'll definitely repost all that stuff on our socials too. So if anyone is
appreciate it.
listening, they'll
We'll clip
they'll
this.
see.
We'll clip this as
Yeah,
the first.
Yeah, we'll
clip.
clip it. Obviously.
Love it. Perfect. That's great. The power of the internet. But
Yeah,
we'll have
no,
you
we'll
we'll have you
definitely
both
repost
at one
it.
in the future when you're
Oh
there.
Yeah,
my
we'll
gosh,
make it
would
there, Betty.
love. I mean, because you had Christine, I think, at your last one in Austin. I think her name's Christine. I follow her on TikTok, and she is so cool. She just talks about like aerodynamics. I don't know
love
like what
that.
she does for an actual job, but she talks about like the science behind all the cars, and it is so cool.
I mean, that's what hooked me on it was like, I jokingly say it was tire degradation, or like not jokingly because it's true, but like that, the fact that you sit and you watch other sports and it's like someone throws a ball down the field and I could never do that. But then you sit and watch this and you see like how you have to manage the degradation of these tires, or you have to get 20 guys to change your car out in under 2 seconds. That to me is awesome. Like that's just a next level collaboration and something that is just so beyond. And I think that that's amazing. So anyone who brings light to that like STEM aspect of the sport is really cool.
Yeah.
So
You're
cool.
speaking Jac's language with the tires. She wants to
I love tires.
full-
I love tires. I could talk tires all day and all night. Greg, we'll have you back on. I'm gonna do a mini episode about tires.
Yeah.
And it can be just you and me.
That'll be a hit for sure. Just 6 hours of just
Yeah.
compounds.
I just want, I don't know, I can talk about it for forever. I just want the old compounds back. I just want the options. I want the chaos. I want all the options back. And that's all I'll say about it. That's all. I won't talk about it anymore. We don't have to talk about tires once again on this podcast.
We'll get you tire talks as a segment eventually.
I know
It'll happen eventually, Jac.
Jamie's trying to like remotely reset your router, get you off.
Yeah,
the
she's like,
Enough.
I know.
Every
I talk about it a
episode.
lot. I love tires. I just do.
Yeah.
But we have
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it's a
No, sorry.
combination of all. Yeah, it's a combination of everything, right? Like it's the strategy, the science that goes into it, the engineering. I mean, the wind tunnels. I still can't quite figure out how they work. Wind tunnels and how they get data there. It's like a 1/8 or whatever model of the car. I'm like, this just doesn't make any sense to me.
No, but you stand there with your finger up like this, right? And then you just feel, yeah.
That's what Williams's look like.
It's a fan and
It's just one simple fan.
Yeah,
And then
it's just a hallway with a fan at the end.
Yes.
One of those big
it's one of those
industrial-
ones that you used to have that would just like, oscillate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It's one of the Dyson Air Blades. It's like a fancy one though. So
Right.
Okay, so they upped their budget. Okay,
yeah.
go
But
Williams.
hopefully not you ever have those Dyson sinks that are both the hand dryer and the sink in one?
Oh, I hate those.
No.
Yeah. They're so bad.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
They're
You wash your
They're at
hands and they
airports
spray
a
you.
lot.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. It's like it's like a T, and I always think that I feel like a logical person would think you put your hands under the wide part for the water to come out. That's the air, allegedly.
Yeah.
And so you have to put your hand under the middle to like wash your hands, and then you
But it's like you have to put it in like that because it's like what was the board game? Operation. Like you don't want to hit the edges because if you hit the edges, the fan turns on, then it sprays the water out. Yeah.
Wait,
Jac,
this
I'm
is
sure you've seen
really
these before.
This is really confusing. I just Google searched it. This is really confusing.
Yeah, I don't know who invented that one. I don't love it.
I don't
Zero
know.
rare
stars.
Dyson. Dyson usually hits the nail on the head. This is a fail.
I
And I don't
know.
know why people keep buying it.
See, I was just picturing where you just put your hands in to dry. That's what I was
Yeah.
picturing. I didn't realize
No.
that there's things that do both.
Yeah, they're really
The
bad.
one where you put your hands in, I'm not too mad at. I'm anti hand dryer in general, but that one's like fine.
Is that because you're anti-forest or you're just like there's something about the hand dryer?
I hate the forest. I'm very anti greenery.
Okay.
No, I just don't like. I feel like it never dries your hands right. You can have biodegradable paper towels.
Yeah, I'm pro paper towel.
Yeah,
Paper towel is better germ-wise.
yeah.
I love that this
Wasn't
is what
the
we're
whole
talking about
study
right
that
now.
came out. That was
You can tell
It's like a
three
whole
people like
study.
the smart for the tires when you talk about hand dryers and
Yeah, this is the tires is what did this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's related. I'm sure someone that worked at Dyson was also somehow involved in motorsport engineering.
Honestly, the fact
I'd
that
place money
Dyson
on it.
isn't in like motorsport in any way is kind of shocking. I thought they'd
They're
be
not
into
all
it.
It's all
something.
air. Like air and aerodynamics. That's their whole thing.
Aerodynamic. I thought
That's
they
their
could just
motto.
like make us. How cool though if you gave like an F1 car to like Dyson and be like, make this like work for you guys aesthetic wise. I would love to see what they would do with it.
yeah,
It'd
that'd
be,
be
speaking of finding and creating, Greg.
yeah. Let's segue.
So the app is kind of like it has just so much content on it. Can you talk a bit about like how it supports all of the different types, and like how you kind of did it start from like this really big wide net that you were like, you can kind of just whatever, or you're like, I want to start with just like blog kind of, and then expand from there? Like, can you talk about the evolution of the content on the app?
Yeah. I mean, the whole idea from it was, how do you make the experience so that when something happens, or when you, like, whenever you think F1, let's just use that as an example. Like, whenever you think F1, you go here first. And so that by virtue means that there's a lot of different like pillars to that experience. So like you're mentioning, like the blog or news, like informational content, but then there's other aspects of like your fandom. So sharing the moments with each other, with your friends, or for other people who don't have someone sitting on the couch with them who loves this sport, who's their family member, right? Like they, or maybe they don't even have like close friends who like this. And when they say Lewis Hamilton, they go, who? It's about being able to connect with that. And then there's, okay, the race happened. How do you stay up on that? The race is on. How do you talk about it and share it? So there's so much to the experience that we just wanted to make it easy to access it. And so that feels like there's a lot of different aspects, but ultimately the idea is just streamline and make it easy for you to find it. And if we're doing that right, then we're making it so that you can really live out the thing that you really care about. And that's it. So that's the vision.
Iconic. Yeah. I mean, and also, it also in terms of, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you have some partners, correct, for certain parts of the content, right? Like the stats is provided by a partner, right? Am
The
I
stats
correct?
isn't, but the like other parts of the experience. I mean, ultimately, right? Like even for you guys, the idea is how do we create this ecosystem that you can thrive in? And so we've worked with a lot of different creators in different capacities, also brands, yeah, I guess you'd call them brands, like websites or places for information. And ultimately, it's like, how do we make everyone else successful? The thing I say a lot and firmly believe in is a rising tide raises all ships. And our goal is to raise the tide, or help create opportunity and be the place that people can come to because we're reliable, we're like we're dependable, we're fun, we're exciting, but like we're a connector. And if we're doing that right, then everyone's succeeding. And so we just want to be the throughput for that. And so if you're looking to find really cool merch, great. We had some conversations today, even with some amazing brands, like we'll help you connect with that. If you're going to the races, like whether it be guides or tickets, all of that. So we want to be that highway, I guess, so to speak, like the road, but not the cars on it.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And I guess to change gears a little bit.
Okay.
We here, Jack and I fight all the time. We feud over motorsport.
I've heard, and bringing a level to your apartment to hang photos.
And bringing, yes.
Everyone buy a level. Just buy a level.
I don't own a level. I will never. I'm not spending my money on that. I have $7 iced coffees to buy, please. What, if you had to pick one, what would be your motorsport feud? So what's your thing, like, that really you think about all the time? Could be something that frustrates you, something that interests you, something that you think that the sport should be doing. What is it for you?
You want to call someone out, you can do that. This is your throne of,
oh yeah, if
your bubble of safety.
Now that you say that, this thing that you're going to publish online publicly, yeah, please. Now I feel safe. Well, you asked me this before, and the thing that I said was, how do you increase the competitiveness or the excitement of the sport? Like, the one thing I really do appreciate is that it is a constructor series. And so, the people who, I don't want to say work harder, but have created something like what Red Bull's done, like the elephant in the room, it's amazing. And like, they deserve that success. That's like, you should champion that. But then my question is, like, well, if I'm watching and it's, Mexico and Max is ahead by 30 seconds and it's like that for 55 laps or however many it was, is it that exciting to see that? Like, if you're beyond appreciating like the technical prowess of the car, like the actual competitiveness, I would personally want to see more action of. And so how do you bring that to life? And so some of the debates around that, I did my homework to come up with a couple ideas, but yeah, I didn't know how you wanted to handle it. So I have a list of some things, but that would be how I would, that'd be how what I would feud with anyone about.
Yeah.
Well, what are your ideas? I want to hear.
Yeah, let's hear it.
You want to hear all?
Yeah.
All right. So I have them in 2 buckets.
Okay.
I used to work in consulting, so this is my brain. But one was serious and the other bucket was funny. Well, and this is also, I have to caveat with my humor. Yeah. Like, who knows if I'm actually funny? I think I'm funny.
We use these buckets, the exact buckets on this podcast all the time. So this is perfect.
Yeah.
Those 2?
Yeah. Well, our funny's more chaotic.
Yeah, that was the direction it was going. And I was
okay, sick. I love this.
All right. I'll how do you want to do it? What would be the best way to go through them?
Do one and one.
Yeah.
Like go back and
forth. Then we, I have a few. So we can, kind of spitball around.
Oh. All right, cool. All right. So the first one, this is probably the most straightforward one, but would be a reverse start from qualifying.
Yes.
Oh, from qualifying.
From quali results.
Yeah. So if you qualify higher, you start worse, but you'd need something to incentivize you to be successful in qualifying so that you don't just like Max is just like turn the car into a wall immediately and then start in first.
We're really big fans of the reverse grid for sprint races. Like champion, like go drivers championship wise.
Yeah.
So we're staunchly pro reverse grid sprint, but that would be in the order.
I like that better.
Quali would be chaotic though. A reverse quali.
So fun. You'd have to. Yeah. How many points do you think they'd have to offer for quali to incentivize like Max to still get pole?
I don't know.
Or a cash prize? Like what could make them?
No, not
maybe
money.
he has to pay. Maybe he has to pay less on his super license the next year, considering how much he has to pay for it.
That's true.
Yeah, but that's like a drop in the bucket for them, isn't it? Like.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, his contract.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. Figuring out like the details of that.
Yeah.
I was thinking like equal points. Like you'd have to have something that makes it. Like it has to be substantial. Like I don't think 8 would do it. People would just because you're going to get 25 for winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it is equal.
Like a 50-point weekend.
Yeah.
Well,
that could be crazy.
That could be cool.
You got to have something where they're just like, all right, I got to wing it.
Yeah.
Or I've got to really like go for it, and then I've got to also fight my way to the front.
Like that would be. I think for you equal points. If you do the same amount of points as you get in a race, then I think you can make it happen. Because then nobody wants. If you're like in a championship battle, you want those 25 points.
Right.
Yeah.
And also because it could change. Like for some of the lower teams, it's a significant amount. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm in.
So it sounds like that one wasn't crazy. or
no, that one wasn't actually that. Yeah.
Okay.
No, we're at the same level.
Yeah. We're very pro reverse grid. So anything reverse, we're in.
I like the reverse grid. I think that's a good one. But then then like, what does that do for qualifying?
So I think you don't do a sprint qualifying then.
Oh, you would just do it for sprint.
Oh, yeah. That's what we thought.
For the race.
Yeah, we were thinking
if you do it for the race. You do it on a sprint weekend. You do regular quali. What if you did regular quali for the sprint you race in normal order, so the order that you qualified in. But then for the race, it's reversed. So if
It's
you're
how
on
you
So you
finish
don't-
on the sprint.
but you're 20th in the race.
Or what if you did the qualifying was for the sprint and then the race was always reverse grid? So like there's
Yeah.
no qualifying for the race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be interesting for sure.
Anything reverse, however they decide to do it, I'm in.
Just reverse it.
It's like the Uno version.
Yeah.
Slapping down Uno reverse cards.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to go chaotic?
Yeah. Give us your chaotic
Sure.
one.
The first one I did, which is probably the one that's maybe said more often, I would guess, would be Mario Kart power-ups.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love that.
I don't know how you do that, but that'd be so sick.
Gotta throw out a banana.
Yeah, banana,
turtle
the thundercloud, make everyone small, and you can run them over.
The bullet.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Or the blue shell, like Yuki, or who would it be? It'd be like Logan Sargent, like throws the blue shell out,
Yeah.
knocks Max
That would
out.
be amazing. Yeah. Or like the one where it makes you like invincible.
Yep.
Or, like Rainbow
Oh, yeah.
Star.
They just have to move out of the way for you. That's just
Yeah,
what it
you
is.
have you get the what's the like the flag, the blue flag, where you have to let the car
yeah.
pass.
Oh,
flags.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like automatic blue flags.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I feel like AI is moving in a direction that this is not going to be impossible in the next few years.
They have to wear like AR goggles and they just do it like that.
Oh, yeah. Like the Google goggles.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, do you remember last year? I don't know if I think they took them off, but remember McLaren tried those electronic ads on the car?
I
we're
feel like
heading
they
into
probably still
like-
do them.
Was
Do
that
they still
last
have
year?
them?
I think it was.
tried them
either the
last
start of
year.
this year.
Like as in a billboard, like an electronic billboard, you know what I'm thinking of?
On the car.
Or because,
yeah.
you know, like some of the placements of brands, like that's green screen.
Mhm.
On the
On
car?
the track. and
Or
stuff.
you mean
Not
like on the
on
track?
on the track.
Oh, like the Paramount Plus ad that they run.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Like that stuff's
Yeah.
green screen.
Yeah, that makes sense. But the McLaren one was they had like a digital, like an LED or whatever the tech was,
Yeah.
that they carved
On
into the
the
side of the car.
Okay, so they could give us that, but they can't give us a full chrome car again.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know if anyone noticed the ad change. So
It's
I
too
just want a
small.
full chrome car. That's what I want.
Yeah.
it was cool. It was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have
I
to
think
look
we could
that up. I
definitely
didn't know
make
that.
this happen in sim racing. I think the technology is a few years
Oh,
away
yeah.
to make Mario power-ups available in real life. But I have
It's
faith.
already here. It's called Play Mario Kart. Like you don't even need a sim rig.
That's true.
Yeah.
We could just transition it all to Mario Kart.
Yep.
Let's just move it over.
Love a good Mario Kart pregame.
Oh, it's great.
So good.
What's everyone's go-to character?
Koopa Troopa, obviously.
All right.
Yoshi. Yoshi,
Toad.
100%.
Your Toad, Jamie?
Or Toadette?
Yoshi at least is respect. You're picking weird ones.
Yoshi's respectable. Nice. Yeah.
All right. I didn't come here to get bullied.
Jamie, do you have ideas of how to make it more competitive?
Well, I mean, this goes back to my idea about my serious one would be facility upgrades need to be outside of the cost cap if it's affecting
Yeah.
your ability to perform, which I've said this before.
I like this idea too.
That is, yeah. My gripe as of late is that Williams is not allowed to upgrade their facilities outside of the cost cap. I think that's ridiculous. If you want the sport to be more competitive in a realistic way, they need to be able to do that, right? Like, you know, we joke about their wind tunnel, but honestly, I don't know that it's that far off for what we were joking about.
I don't think they can use it.
Yeah, I have no idea about
So-
that one, but I think that makes sense. But
Yeah.
then the question is, how do you keep it going, right? Because you do it once. Is it one time? Is it you do it to get everyone on even playing field, and then you put it under the cost cap as well?
I think there needs to be, which I guess we're putting this in the trust of the FIA, so we'll see how it goes. But I would say you'd have to write the rule in a way that's like, you know, your facility is significantly affecting your ability to perform, and then it's up to, I don't know if it would be the stewards in this case, but you know, it's up to the FIA to determine, is this request that comes in actually significantly affecting their ability to perform? Would
Like
be
it'd
my
have to be a
thought of how it works.
proposal, you think, to them?
Right.
Like you couldn't just do it and then like, oh, it was
Right.
this.
So we'd like to get an exception on rebuilding our wind tunnel, our offices, blah, blah, blah. Here's why it's affecting our ability to perform. And then you'd get approval.
I'm picturing the headline that reads, like, that process was exploited by some
Yeah.
nefarious behavior.
Yep. Yeah.
Red Bull,
Red Bull,
once
you know.
again,
Gets exception.
their
Yeah.
blames their catering.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
spent too much on catering on their approved upgrades. Now they have a whole new facility. It could definitely
Yeah.
go wrong. It probably would. But my
Well,
gripe
you know,
was that Williams wasn't allowed to do it.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was in Drive to Survive when Fred Vassar took over there, that he was talking about how their wind tunnel was unused for like 20 years because they didn't have the money to upgrade it. And so I just think that, yeah, it just, I love that idea. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, and you got to
Thank
keep
you.
it going. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Should we go to a next one?
Yeah.
Greg, do you have more?
Funny or serious?
Start with funny.
All right. Clown gloves. And based on how well you do, you have to use bigger and more inconvenient gloves to drive.
Oh my, and
The higher
by
you
how-
are in the drivers' championship, the bigger the gloves.
So like Max comes out with like those like the hands, you know, like
the Mickey Mouse ones.
Yeah, that's what exactly.
Oh my gosh. And so this would be throughout the season. So like, do they start the season all with just regular gloves, and then the more points you get, the bigger your gloves are?
I like that. I was just thinking between each race, but yeah, I like that more.
Oh yeah, it could be that. Or it could be like a handicap thing, like with golf. I don't know exactly how that works, but people have handicaps in golf and they adjust it.
I thought handicap was a good thing in golf.
Yeah, you want to high your.
Well, it adjusts your score, but then.
Or no, you want. I don't know.
I don't know how golf works.
I'm not even going to comment. I'll just get laughed at by all my friends, so I'm not going to comment.
We'll take the hit for that one, 100%.
I'll watch that like F1 golf thing that's coming out soon, and then we'll know.
We'll learn that
golf,
way.
and we can revisit this topic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But we should do the gloves. I think that'd be funny.
I am so in on the gloves. I'm so in on the gloves. I am a proponent of, we should all, they have the entire grid switch cars, like reverse grid, but the cars stay in the same spot. So like make Max drive the slowest car in the grid for a race.
I really like
I would like to see that anyway.
Yes. Because I also think I would like to see a driver, like I'd like to see Logan Sargent, see how he does in the RB19. Because I have faith in him and nobody else does.
No, I like that idea. I mean, I would like the idea of everyone in the same car for like a race. Not even like in the season, but I just want to know if all these drivers, how I think that they would do all in the same car, if that's like the correct lineup. Because Esteban Ocon is like so outspoken about, put everyone in the same car. And I'm like, Esty bestie. Let's be for real.
Yeah.
You could put them all in F2 cars. Do it like a charity, like an all-star race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be cool.
I think
Yeah,
that'd
we
be
should
cool.
for charity.
Yeah.
For charity.
I think that
So they
could
have to do
be
it.
that would be great too for like if putting them in smaller cars at like a Monaco. So if we put them in like an F2 or something even smaller, go-karts maybe,
Golf
and then
cart.
they just golf
Golf cart.
carts.
I was thinking just an IndyCar, but that's fun too.
Or those like those little like electric kid cars, like the Hummer or something, and they're like sitting.
Yeah. They make
We
those
have to-
as F1 cars. So we could just get them kid version of F1 cars.
I love
That'd
it.
be cool.
10 out of 10.
Just completely scrap the sport as it is today. Just do that.
We're starting over.
Wow. These ideas are really, they're all going to be in giant gloves and Barbie Jeeps. And it's
Yeah,
gonna
can
be
you
epic.
imagine all of them together?
That'd be great. I'm sure there's a cheat code in like F123 that you can get this mode. Just do this.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
there should be.
I don't- So you can always jailbreak a game and stuff like that. Remember, like when you were little, did you ever do like do that hack on Sims so you had unlimited money?
Yeah, that was a great.
No,
Oh, Jack, I don't know where you were.
I
It's
don't
the only
know.
way I played
Playing the
Sims.
game how it was supposed to be played, apparently.
Oh, if you were actually playing the game, then you weren't playing it how it's supposed to be played. There's an
I was building
amazing-
mansions. Yeah.
Yeah, you cheat. It was Rosebud, I think, was the one that gave you unlimited money.
Yes.
Interesting.
There's a really, 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 really good Reddit post about this from years ago, where the guy it was like one of the later Sims where you could customize their personality, and he made someone who was like completely introverted and would only paint, and he locked them in the basement of a house and just had him paint photos or like pictures, and then he would sell the pictures so the people upstairs could live their life. And it was just this person no one knew about living in the basement who had no way to get out, no windows, just an easel, and just painted.
What in the Lifetime movie?
It's
Holy cow.
It's such a good. You have to find it. I think it's called like the Art Goblin or something. It's on Reddit. It's hilarious.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god, definitely will.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, well, like
hilarious.
Sims always just brings out your unhinged side. Like the classic, you like put one of your Sims in the pool and then you take the ladder out.
Yep.
Like, that is insane behavior. Why were we all
Or
doing that?
you make a room with only fireplaces and carpets.
Yep.
And no doors. Yeah. Just
Wow.
bad.
Chaos.
This is what happens when you like jailbreak your Sims, Jack. You end up doing all this stuff.
Yeah, I
It's
see.
really
I wasn't really a Sims kid. I liked playing the old like Pac-Man, and that's what I liked. Minimal
You missed
buttons.
out.
I guess
You
I
weren't
did.
sadistic and twisted.
That's just what it is.
You weren't torturing people in
Yeah.
houses.
Just you weren't imprisoning Sims? What do you mean?
Yeah, what a weirdo.
Yeah, that's what it was. Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
Anyway.
It was.
How did
Do you
we
guys
get
want to
to
do?
Sims?
I don't know, but do you guys want to do one more each? You can pick it. It's serious or funny
All right.
for how you would improve motorsport.
Go ahead, Jamie, your pick.
I have to think. All right. I'm just gonna go with top one because I think it's timely. It is, well, at the time of this episode being released, it will be a little further out. I think every race should just be at Brazil because it's the best track. So
Okay.
Oh, hard veto.
come on,
Love Brazil, but
best track.
it is
All the
best
fun
track.
stuff happens in Brazil.
It is great. You just have to change. I mean, the beauty of it is that it does change and that he has all these places. So you have to keep that.
Yeah,
Well, Interlagos has enough weather for like everybody, so I think it's
that's
fine.
true.
Yeah.
We saw that.
fair enough. But no, I would change it up.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd get
Well,
rid of some of
I'm
the
alone on
US
that one.
ones. Kick those out. Put in some different ones.
I'm looking at the list to see what else I can give you. On the serious side, I thought, what if you lower or increase like the length of time that they have to stay in Parc Ferme? Like if you do better, you have less time for that weekend, or you can't run as many practice sessions. If you're doing
That would be
good.
interesting.
To just like a harder time of getting your configuration right.
Yeah, I mean, like drivers have talked this season a lot about how, like, you have the one practice on a sprint weekend and then it's Parc Ferme, and how you have to get it right pretty fast.
Yep.
So imagine having that like every race for the top teams. That could make things very interesting.
Yeah, and that screwed over Haas and Aston Martin this year because they brought upgrades and they were in that, so couldn't do it. That would be really interesting.
As a Ferrari fan, that does give me heart palpitations, but for the interest of the entire series, I am pro that. I do think that's really interesting.
Okay. All right, one more. Because I will, like, when I'm working, I'll watch, or I'll have like old reality television on. So I have Survivor on a lot. And I think they have to get to the end and then complete a puzzle before they can win. So it's the race and a puzzle.
Love this idea.
It's the great equalizer, as they say. So it's that and a mind game.
Who do you think would be the best at the puzzles, and who do you think would be the worst?
Please tell me we keep their radios on during the puzzles.
Oh, it has to be on at all times. Has to be on at all times.
Who's best? He's not on the grid anymore, but I feel like Seb would have been really good.
Seb would have been good. I think Max, depending on the puzzle, could be really good at it. I think Charles would struggle.
Oh, Yuki's going to struggle. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
He's just not going to have the patience for it, I don't think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Depending on the puzzle, I think Lando might struggle as well.
I think Lando would struggle. Sweet Lando. I think little Lando Norris would struggle 100%.
Oh, that would be good.
I think George and Lewis would do well.
Oh, George would be really good at it.
Yeah. He would have practiced. He would come ready to go.
Lewis too. I think he would. I think he would be very like calm and would do it.
Yeah,
that's where he would win his races.
Yeah, Max would typically be very good, but I think if he had a race where he was frustrated towards the end, then he would be a bit hyped up and maybe not. Oh, we need to add this because we need to see how this goes.
Call up Call up Mark Burnett. Be like, yo.
Yeah.
Next
Hello,
race.
I have some ideas.
Get Jeff Probst.
Yeah.
Put him on the track. Let's go.
He can wave the checkered flag and then.
I know I've been in like a lot of support of LL Cool J coming back, but imagine Jeff Probst doing the driver announcements in the US. How sick would that be?
I think it'd be cool. Anything I love his stuff. He's great. He also has if you watch him, he gives people attitude sometimes. He's like, he gets snappy in a funny way. It's great.
We could use that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine him and Martin Brundle on a grid walk. That would be epic.
Call up CBS. Let's go.
Yeah.
I want tickets. Jeff, I want tickets.
Yeah.
We have several product ideas. We have several calls to make to the FIA for suggestions. I would call this a success. I would say we can end it here.
Great. Well, I want everyone who listens to reach out and say what they think. Actually, I'd love to hear some, especially the funny ones. But I want to hear what your listeners think.
Yeah, we'll have to start it on the app, so everyone can just go there, and because I want to hear people's ideas.
Yeah, come DM me.
The options are truly endless, Yeah. DM us. Let us know on socials what your ideas are. And we will talk to you next week. Next time we talk to you, it'll be without Greg. Thank you very much for coming, Greg. Well, you're welcome to
Thank
come
you for
back
having
next
me.
time, but
You're welcome back anytime.
but it will be after the Vegas race. So this should be
Yeah, I'll
an
fill you
interesting weekend. Yeah. Greg will keep us
It'll be
updated
great.
with on the ground. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, we'll share photos and everything, and yeah, we'd love to come back. It was fun.
Yeah.
We'll have some more ideas next time.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll have even more. All right. Well, we will talk to everybody next week. Have a great week. Love you. Bye.
Bye, guys.